on you?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
good.
Well, well, anyway, our relationship became a lot more close as the time went on. And I reached the point where I really and truly just got so wrapped up in my head with her. And I think it was just our first time out or something, because she was always working. And we went to this classy restaurant, so I wanted to impress her. When I went there, there were some actors, some stars, that we knew, that I knew from the movies and everything, you know. And I told her, I said, it's special because, Mary, I gotta ask you, would you please marry me? Please. And she looked, she thought for a while.
Laughed.
She put her head down, and then, I don't know if the music you know, but they played the song as bum 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 bum. You don't know that, I guess. Huh? Words. It's the wrong time. It's the wrong place. It's the wrong thing. She said, why don't you listen to the music? She said. So I said, well, I'm desperate. I'm not going to marry anybody else, but I'll ask you again. How am I doing? Am I getting through this story there? So I was working at this place, and she was working at a bank then, because after school, we're missing a lot of stuff on this story.
I wasn't working at a bank. You were working.
Yeah, I was working at a bank, and where were you working? You were working at the welfare.
No, I was working. I was going to school and working at the Episcopal
Not
home.
down there. You weren't going to school.
No, yes, I was.
You already graduated.
No, I was still at GW.
With your parents?
No, with GW. I was at GW then.
No, wait. You already. I'm back up to your where you lived. Oh wait. Now you're right. Well,
you're switching things around on me.
You know, you're right. You know, I apologize. This is when she graduated. Her folks came down. They smiled at me politely and got her the hell away, because I'm a little kid from the coal region. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any background. Nothing I had, you know. And I drank besides quite a bit. So they arranged for her. She says it's wrong for her to go to Europe to go and forget about me.
It was not. I arranged it, and I went with the Quakers overseas to go work at work camps for the summer.
So she thought that would be good, because she said it's good for us to detach for a while. I didn't think it was good, you know. Of course, the girl that they hired, this is an aside. She said, I'll help you forget Mary, and she worked really hard at it, you know, for which I was humbly grateful. You know. But Mary still, when I got word she was I sent her letters on this skinny paper and wrote on both sides, and she couldn't read a single damn thing that I wrote to her. Anyway, I'll give me a break. It was horrible. So when I got word she was coming home, I told the parents, I said, I'm willing to go get her in New York when she came home. I wanted to ask you about you, and I'm running on here.
No, keep going. No, it's interesting.
I wanted to ask if it's okay for me to go get her. They didn't give a damn. They never showed any kind of emotions about anything. So when I went there to New York to pick her up, she was due in at like 8:30 something. And I was all excited. Of course, I can't describe for you what I was feeling. And she was writing back and forth. She figured, what the hell? Like, she got rid of me for a while, I guess. Well, they said, would all the people who have friends or family on flight 122 please meet with us with her, whatever. I said, holy shit, what's going on? So I went in this room, and there were about 40, 50 people there. And they said, we need to tell you we've lost contact with the plane. And everyone said, what does that mean? It means we don't know where it is. It may, in fact, have gotten sunk. Sometimes we did hear some radio things that they were having mechanical troubles, and after that we didn't hear anything. Well, my God, I can't tell you what it was like in that room. Everybody was screaming, yelling, and everything like that. And I was just numb. They said, well, you're going to come back here at about 11 o'clock, and we'll see what other information we have. So we were sitting there, standing there and everything, and then we went back at 11 o'clock, and I said, we think we heard something again on the radio, but we're not sure what it was. So that means it said that we're at least in contact somehow. Well, so around 2 o'clock then, this is the longest time of my life. I'm boring at her. At 2 o'clock, they called us back again. And they said, we heard from them. They're having trouble with their electronic things. That's why the radio and all that. and they were halfway here, and they decided to go back with a mechanic, and we think they made it back okay. So we whoo and everything. So well, I'm boring you too long with this story, but it's so important for me.
No, keep going.
Well,
Keep
it was like
going.
7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. It was horrible. They called us in again. They said they're back in flight. We don't know what plane they're on, or if the plane was the one they had or what, but they're back in flight and they've gone halfway. And that's significant, they said, because if something goes wrong halfway, you make a decision you have to continue, otherwise you go back. So if they made it halfway, we think they're going to continue on. So eventually, I got it at 6 o'clock in the morning. This is the most horrible, indescribable. They called us and said the plane made it to Newfoundland and they landed there just in time. So everybody like cheered and everything. They weren't supposed to. They found an army base or something like that. So they said we're making arrangements for them to come down here. Someone to ride down, some are taking the plane down, etc. You know. Well, she got 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. Plane came in and she looked horrible. She smelled all that kind of stuff. But when I saw her, I ravished her with kisses and held her in my arms because I figured I lost her. I had to think about what would happen with my life if I lost her. So that was pretty dramatic, you know. So she already had left. I already had told her I want to marry her. Please, I'm not going to be with anybody else, even though there wasn't whatever. And I said, the first thing I got to ask you. She said, I was afraid of that. She said, I don't know, she says. So when I brought her home, I'm 90% through. When I brought her home, her family is so undemonstrative. One brother said, oh, hi, Mary. Welcome back. And I walked past her. Her sister Nancy said, oh, I'm glad to see you. So I'm going to have to go up and change, or whatever. Her mother came out and she gave her like a little peck like this, you know. And she said something about, oh, what time is it? Did you have breakfast or anything? Her daddy came out and said, oh, we heard you had a bad trip, but everything is okay now. And it walked away. I thought, holy shit, these families. I got to get away from this, you know, because here I'm a little Italian boy from Hazleton over there. Well, I got to get through them. I got a job nearby. She got a job nearby. And I was a pest. And I called her. I drove her crazy. And she kept saying, leave me alone. And we went out a couple of times, and I said, asked her the same question. I said, I'm only saying with you. Well, I wanted to go to graduate school. I'm almost finished here. I wanted to go to graduate school. I got accepted at all these schools all around Philadelphia. Every school you could think of. You probably went through that right now trying to get into graduate school. Well, I take all these tests, but one school was in Michigan, University of Michigan. I said, you know, I'm a kid, and to go away, this is like going like to the Pacific Ocean or something. I said, I want to go there. I told Mary, I said, I want to leave there. I'm doing like September, and I want you to come with me. And she said, this will be a good chance, she said, for us to detach from each other for a while. You know, and think a little more clearly about, we'll write and keep in touch and make a decision. Well, I was sort of, I guess, enraged is as good a word as any. I said, it's not going to happen. If I leave, we're finished. I can't take it anymore. But I said, if you say yes, my life will all change because I want you to come with me. Well, I asked her, like in the beginning of summer, I said, Mary, where are we? She said, oh, well, okay. That's how she accepted my invitation. Shall I stretch more or not? Is that enough?